they told me, okay, you will start working here. And I'm like, no, I'm working in the bank. And they're, no, you're not working in the bank. So they gave me a really good offer. So I went to the bank and I told them, look, one of the biggest security companies in Israel offer me a good offer that I cannot refuse. And I will, I need to move to work in this
How old are
company.
you?
16. And then the bank said, no, you will stay in the bank. We will not, you. So they gave me a better offer.
Welcome to 20-Minute Leaders. Just sit back, relax, and learn from the leaders of today. It's a journey. Each one is different, unique, inspiring. Let's get started. This episode is powered by J Ventures, a community-driven VC fund in Silicon Valley, in partnership with Lomitech, and sponsored by Homeward Ventures, Hippo Insurance, Upwest, Hillel at Stanford, Leap, and Birthright Excel, and in media partnership with CTech. Welcome to another episode of 20-Minute Leaders. And okay, if you're remotely interested in entrepreneurship or crazy stories in general, you must listen to this episode. Meet Eyal Gruner, CEO and founder of Cynet. Eyal Gruner founded Cynet in 2015. He started his journey in the cybersecurity world when he was 15, when he uncovered a breach in the ATM machine of a large Israeli bank and a high-tech company. They both eventually hired him as a cybersecurity expert while he was still in high school. At the age of 16, he founded his first cybersecurity consultancy company, BugSec, which became one of the biggest consulting companies in Israel. After his military service, he founded a startup called Versafe and sold it to F5 Networks at the age of 24 for $100 million. Eyal founded Cynet with the goal of building a truly big company. Eyal Gruner, welcome to 20-Minute Leaders. It is such an honor and a privilege to have you here. Thank you.
Thank you to having me.
You know, what I mentioned to you before, I already apologized for this, is that I hope to talk as much as possible about Cynet, but your stories and your background is so fascinating and so unique that I think I'm going to have to pause and dwell on a few key moments and just, by small way of background, and we'll already get started without even a big introduction. Tell me how at 15 you uncovered a breach in an ATM machine. How does a 15-year-old get to do that? I don't understand.
So it started 3 years before.
Of course.
My friends spoke about hacking, and I didn't know the word even. So I started to look in Google, what is hacking, what is hacker, what they are doing. And then in my high school, we had a worm spread in the network. And basically, it's it shut down all the desktops and servers in the high school. We are talking about 300 desktop and servers. And I as a kid want to play on the computers with my friend. So I start to look what this worm is doing, how is it working, and then I start to learn the hacking, the information security. It was not called cyber at the time. So I started to understand how this worm is working, and then I understood how to remove this worm, and then I helped to my teacher to remove this worm from the network and to eliminate this worm. And then I started to be in IRC. It's again a long time ago. I started to chat with other hackers in the internet, and we start doing many nice projects. So I learned more and more and more myself with friends, and then me and my parents went to the bank to open an account for me. And I looked on the ATM, start to play with it. It was a touchscreen ATM, so I was able to from the touchscreen to get to the internal network. And then I told it to the manager of the bank. Didn't know what I want from him. So at the age of 15, so
amazing.
So I went back home. And it's a bank. It's one of the largest bank in Israel, without names, but it can affect millions of people in Israel. So I basically called to a reporter that I knew at the time, and I told him about it, and he wrote an article in one of the biggest online paper. Then after a month, I came back to the bank and I saw that they removed the ATM, and then I saw another ATM. So I start playing with this ATM, and again I found the same problem, and I told it to the manager, and he told me, now I know what I need to do. And I asked him, what do you need to do? And he's like, I need your phone number, because this is what the chief information security officer told me to do. So he took my phone number, and then the CISO called me. He jumped to Jerusalem and meet me. Again, I'm at the age of 15. And from this day, it's a long story. If you want, I can continue with the story, but it will be more than 20 minutes.
Eyal, I'm going to have to apologize, but I'm going to have to ask you to continue, because I think it's just a marvelous story of deep curiosity and entrepreneurship.
So after I met the CISO, he told me, you need to come work at the summer vacation in the bank. And I'm like, okay, I will do it. Let's do it. So I waited and waited, and the summer vacation in few weeks and then few days, and nobody is calling me. Nobody from the bank calling me. So I said, okay, I will call to the CISO and see what's going on. So I called to the CISO and I told him, you did a joke, or you are serious about it? And he said, I'm always serious. So I got an offer after a day from the bank and started working at the bank at the age of 15 and a half.
Oh my God.
And then after the end of the summer, so in Israel, the summer vacation is 2 months. I worked there 2 months, and at the end of the 2 months, the CISO arranged like a party. He was thinking that he will get rid of me after the summer vacation. But so he did like a party to say goodbye for me, and he told me that he was joking about me working in the summer vacation.
Wow.
He just told me, he was joking, and I took it serious. So this is and in the bank I learned a lot of things. So in these 2 months I learned that there is many companies that doing this and getting a lot of money of this. That there is a lot of problems. This is the first time that I understood that it's so easy to hack to any organization in the world.
Wow.
I understood how it's easy to, for an attacker. It was in 2004. So it was so easy to hack to any organization. And one of the question is, why the hell nobody's, there is a lot of bad guys outside. Why they are not hacking to any organization and stealing money and do all of these things? How? And then I started to see that there is more and more hacking activities and more hackers, bad hackers. Black Hat is doing bad activities. So then I started my first company. I will tell you the story. There is a story before this. So it was in 2004. It was a conference called White Hack 4. It basically was a hacker conference. All the hackers, not all, but a lot of hackers from Israel came to this conference, and it was a challenge to hack to a virtual bank and transfer $1 million from a virtual account to your account, your virtual account. So I hacked to the bank, to the virtual bank, and I transfer money to my virtual account, and I won in this tournament. And then at the end, a company, a big security company in Israel, gave away a token. It was basically a USB that you can connect to your machine, and it can save your password in this token. So I went to their website, because again it's 2004. You need to download driver to use this token. So I went to the website and I found a a big vulnerability that gave me the ability to download all their CRM. So all the customers' information and everything, I was able to get it. So I contact them through the conference, and then I came to, they asked me for a meeting. I came to the meeting, and then they told me, okay, you will start working here. And I'm like, no, I'm working in the bank. And they're, no, you're not working in the bank. So they gave me a really good offer. So I went to the bank and I told them, look, one of the biggest security companies in Israel offer me a good offer that I cannot refuse. And I will, I need to move to work in this
How old
company.
are you?
So 16. And then the bank said, no, you will stay in the bank. We will not, you. So they gave me a better offer. So it was a better offer to get me. And then I found myself working in both company, in the bank and in the security company.
Wow.
So I told to friend, I wish I can duplicate myself. I can get more money if I can duplicate myself.
And you're still in high school, pretty much in 11th.
Yeah, and I'm still in high school. I was the professional running in the high school. So I was doing many things at the time.
Amazing.
And then I told it to my friend, and they told me open a company. So I opened my first company at the age 16 and a half, and then starting hiring more and more employees. And this is my first company called BugSec. So this is my story.
Well, it's a small part of the story.
It's the beginning of the story.
It's a small beginning of the story. I believe that not too long after after your military service, you founded a startup called Versafe. You sold it to F5 Networks at the age of 24 for $100 million. And while I would love to hear that story, there's a few other stories that I have too. And it's crazy to me that I'm skipping over this story. But on the personal side, Eyal, besides the fact that you're obviously so curious and so driven, you've had quite a few personal experiences that I think are really inspiring. The first one is what you currently do with your spouse and working with animals. So you have 4 dogs and 4 cats. Some of them.
I'm vegan. I'm also vegan.
Vegan, but some of your pets don't have some limbs, right? And it's intentional. You're working like that. That's part of you. Tell me a little bit about why you do it and what is it like caring for 8 pets.
So I like animals from day zero, and I like to help to. It's not only animals. It's also if someone have problems and I can help, why not? So I always like animals all my life. I had the cat, sleeping with myself and everything. And then I started, I met my girlfriend, and she is an animal saver. And she showed me this world, and it's amazing world. When you see someone, and again, it's not only animal. I have a story for another story of a woman that start to stroke in a restaurant, and I did the Heimlich for her, and she basically I think I saved her life, and it's not because it's because you can, if you can help, why not? It's easy. And so when you see a cat in the street that it's so I found a cat a few years ago. I found a cat in the street, and I took this cat, and we took it together, and we found we are not only keeping in our house, we also adopting them, and then finding a great home for them. So it's good. It's good things to do.
I mean,
I think that if you think about it, if you think about physical security, if we talk talk about Israel, we are spending a lot of money on security. And there is billions of dollars invested on missiles and invested on all the best brains in the world are invested for all the missiles and all these things. And think about if you can take all this money and all of this brain and put it in on a good things on a good reason. It can be different, totally different world.
Incredible. And you mentioned a few times that you can help others. It's easy, but it does take some power, and it takes some knowledge. And you've done first aid courses that I guess gave you the expertise to do it. And being vegan and having a relationship with animals throughout your life obviously shaped your perspective on them. And so I'm really inspired by your thinking that it really is as simple as helping people. It does require some expertise, but your attitude towards it, I think, is incredible. Selling a company for $100 million at 24, what does that do to a kid? Because at that point, I'm 25, I'm still a little kid. What does that do? What does it do having two jobs competing offers at 16?
Yeah, so after I sold my first company, I don't remember exactly who is it, but I think the investor called me and told me that in the first 6 months, not to do nothing with the money, keep the money in the bank. And I didn't listen to it. So, so you do a few stupid things, like buying few stupid things. And by the way, if someone of my friend is doing an exit, the first thing that I'm doing is calling them and tell them, 6 months, keep the money. I didn't listen, and it's not good. So you need to listen. 6 months, keep the money in the bank and don't do nothing. The after you sold a company at the age of 24, you are asking yourself, what now? What is my next? Okay, money is not an issue anymore. So what now? What is my, what I want to do? So I was thinking about many things. I was thinking about education. I also work in at the age of 22. It's called the early entrepreneur in Israel. So I worked with let's say not an easy community. It was very hard for them to be in this program. But I learned a lot, and again, helping to people and show them that they can dream. This is something important. So I was thinking about education. I was thinking about government. I was thinking about things like this. And then I was thinking about creating something big. And 100 million, it's okay, but it's not big enough for me. So it was fast. So because of this, I started basically Cynet.
Eyal, this was one of the most enjoyable episodes I've had, and I really appreciate you taking the time to do this. I'm already reserving you for another episode to talk specifically about Cynet, but I think that hearing your journey, so unconventional, so unique, and I think that your attitude towards life and towards the things that you do is just admirable, and I'm gonna re-listen to this episode a few times myself, and I really hope that my friends do as well, because in today's world, as we're all pushing forward as quickly as possible and things are moving fast, and the expectation is that, if you don't build $1 billion company, then you haven't done something meaningful. I think that it distracts a lot of time from the real things in life, which is saving a person when they need help, or helping animals that are in need, or generally being good human beings. And I'm really inspired by this conversation. So thank you for that. I want to go back now a little bit further in time and ask you what really fascinated you as a kid before cyber, before at the age of 12 you learned the word hacking. What really drove your curiosity before then?
So I think one of the things that is like really, I'm very curious. I want to know everything, and I want to know how is everything is working, from an ATM machine to it can be a clock, that you open the clock and then you don't know how to return it back, and then you learn how to return it back. So I want to, everything, to learn how it's work, and to understand how everything is working. So it was when you went to the internet, how you build a website.
Amazing.
The first things, how you build a server, how you create a malware. What is a malware? How is working? How it is working? How you steal money? How an hacker can steal money from a bank, and so on. So the curious, to know and to learn and to understand everything, how is it working. This is something that passionate me as a kid.
Amazing.
It's not only as a kid, it's today. My few times that I'm walking with my girlfriend, and I see I don't know, something that it look interesting. I'm can spend an hour on these things, and my girlfriend don't understand me, but this is
I
what.
love it.
No, I want to understand everything.
And what inspires you today?
So I think the ability to to create something that will change. So you remember in the first step, in the beginning of the episode, I said to you that it was so easy to hack to any organization, and it's still today. It's really, really easy to hack to, I think, 95% of the organization. It's really, really easy to hack to the organization in the world. So I think to change it, to have fundamental, technology that can change these things and can be affordable and easy and simple. One of the biggest challenges in cybersecurity is the operation and the complexity and the chaos in cybersecurity. There is too many solutions. There is too many problems, and the chief information security don't know what to do. You don't know which product to choose. You don't know, you need to buy 19 different solutions, and you need to integrate. It's a big chaos, and to simplify it, to change it, and to help the not only the big organization, also the mid market, the small medium enterprise organization, or the small medium businesses organization, to help them to protect themselves in a really, really good way. So the attacker will go other places. This is something that fascinates me as a person, to
Amazing.
change something in the world that that Cynet can say, we able to simplify the cybersecurity chaos.
And what are 3 words that you would use to describe yourself?
So I'm really motivated, meaning that if I have a goal, I think someone need to kill me that I will not get to this goal. This is something that this like I'm very focused on the target and motivated to achieve the goal. The other things is that I'm very positive. There is people that say that I'm too positive, meaning something really bad can happen, and I can see the good things in this thing. Like I'm always positive, and so positive, focus, and motivate. I think this is the 3
Eyal,
words.
toda raba raba. This was amazing. We're gonna do another episode on Cynet because the work that you're doing there, you're after your Series C and you're truly building a big company. It's not just a mission. And I love your attitude and I'm inspired by it. So thank you very, very much, and stay safe and stay healthy.